We're at a conference in Taipei to hear what Taiwan's presidential candidates have to say about women's empowerment.
Firefighters plead for their own union in the wake of a deadly factory explosion.
Taiwan's semiconductor industry needs more talent, and I talked to a new pool of recruits, international students.
Plus, Taiwan moves one step closer to becoming a nuclear-free nation. A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Betty Chen. The Atomic Energy Council has been downgraded to a third-tier agency. This is aligned with the government's policy to end Taiwan's reliance on nuclear energy by 2025. Bing Wang has the details.
Premier Chen Jianren unveiling the Nuclear Safety Commission. The Atomic Energy Council was established almost 70 years ago. It's now been downgraded from a second-tier to a third-tier agency. This is in line with President Tsai Ing-wen's goal of making the country nuclear-free by 2025. Premier Chen Jianren and the Commission's chairman Chen Dongyang both said there won't be any staff or salary changes, nor will funding be affected. But there are concerns from the public, such as whether the downsized commission will be able to properly regulate nuclear energy. The Nuclear Safety Commission has emphasized that they will continue to regulate according to the law.
我们有相关的这个核能的管制的法律，那么我们是依法来独立行使这方面的核能安全的管制。
Former chairperson Cai Chun-hong questioned whether the commission will be able to adapt to international standards. And with the lack of resources, he's concerned about the increasing amount of work that nuclear engineers may face.
小能源政策调整，继续使用，考虑继续使用核能的话，那我想这个部分的工作就会越来越重。
Presidential elections are less than 4 months away, and the various candidates from each party all have different nuclear energy policies. But President Tsai will be hoping that whoever her successor is will continue her efforts to denuclearize the nation. Ethan Chen and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Consumer Confidence Index dropped slightly for the second month in a row. The index measures consumers' outlook based on indicators like economic climate, employment prospects, and the stock market. It found that consumer confidence dropped by almost 0.8 points for an overall score of just above 66.7. All 6 sub-indexes showed declines in consumer confidence, with the largest group in purchasing goods. Taiwan could be facing a surplus of medical professionals, a problem some experts believe could result in higher medical fees for patients. Reese Ayers reports.
Taiwan has too many pharmacists. That's according to a study by the Federation of Taiwan Pharmacists Association. It's a concern echoed by wider medical and pharmaceutical industries in the country. With a population of over 23 million, Taiwan has around 13 pharmacists per 100,000 people, compared to just 8.6 in other developed countries. And the Education Ministry recently approved the establishment of a pharmaceutical department at a university in East Taiwan, which experts fear could make the situation even worse.
教育部、技职司、卫福部还有药师工会，在明年初 坐下来讨论，针对总额要怎么挪动分配，定出游戏规则。
It's not just a surplus of pharmacists causing concerns among the medical community. There's also an oversupply of traditional Chinese medicine doctors. This increase could have serious implications for the general population.
因为这个人数一多就会压缩健保的资源，在这个情况下，就会把一些比较 有效的医疗去压去自费去了，那这对于某些负担不起自费的群众是一件很严重的事情。
Taiwan's national healthcare system covers most, but not all, medical fees for patients. However, with more clinics and more doctors, the government's health insurance funds may be stretched more thinly. This could in turn increase co-payment for patients. One university suggested a possible solution to the surplus of TCM doctors could be to encourage them to look for jobs in medical research facilities instead of working in local clinics. Until then, the health and education ministries will need to consider how to prevent an increase in medical costs should the number of practitioners continue to rise. Scott Huang and Reese Ayres for TaiwanPlus.
3 more people have died after contracting dengue fever. This comes as the country tackles one of the most severe outbreaks it's seen in years. Eric Gao has this report.
Exterminators in southern Taiwan ramp up mosquito control efforts. They're on the front line in the fight against the worst outbreak of dengue fever Taiwan has seen in almost a decade. Officials say 3 more people have died from the mosquito-borne disease, and cases have now passed 10,000.
在感染登革热之后，都是发生了这个意识状态变差，或者是说这个严重的腹泻这一些警示的征兆。
Health officials are reminding the public of important symptoms to look out for, especially in the southern city of Tainan, where the vast majority of cases have been found. But the spread of dengue fever is affecting people not just in Taiwan. Earlier this summer, the World Health Organization warned that cases around the world could near historical highs. That's mainly because global warming has created better breeding conditions for the mosquitoes that spread the disease.
Once in a while, for a couple of years, there will be a big outbreak. And this year has happened to be this.
Bangladesh has seen its most deadly outbreak of dengue fever ever, adding pressure to its already strained healthcare system. Millions of cases have also been reported in the Americas, with 2023 on track to have one of the highest incident rates in over 40 years. Back in Taiwan, officials are advising people to wear light-colored clothing and use medical-grade repellent to avoid stings. They're also urging people to clean out stagnant water to try and stop mosquitoes from laying eggs. But analysts say keeping dengue fever at bay will be an ongoing battle, given changing climates.
The battle between human and mosquitoes, that's ongoing struggles, and you cannot eliminate by any ways now.
For now, what officials can do to protect people is to get rid of as many of the mosquitoes as possible and to equip the public with the information and habits to keep the insects at bay. Chris Ma, Joyce Zeng, and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Compensation is on the way for victims of a fatal factory explosion in southern Taiwan. In addition to payouts for dead and injured workers, the factory's owners are promising money to the families of firefighters killed in a blast. But some say it's not enough. John Venturez reports.
9 dead, 1 missing, and 111 injured. That's the toll of the fire and explosion that ripped through this factory in southern Taiwan last week. The owners say they're working to offer compensation. There's around $15 million for dead and injured workers.
5亿元到底够不够用？我们也跟上海商银用一个开放性的，假设不够，我们还可以再增加。
And there's promises of money for firefighters and their families too. 4 firefighters were among those killed. But some aren't happy with this settlement. News the factory had 30 times the permitted amount of flammable chemicals on site has angered firefighters, who feel lax oversight put their comrades' lives in danger. It's put new life into a push for a firefighters' union. A union isn't possible under current laws, which class firefighters as civil servants. Officials say they're willing to consider letting firefighters form associations.
我们两院呢认为最好的方法就是尽速来修改公务员的学会法。 让专业的学会还有这个学会地方的学会呢也都能够成立。
But firefighters say that's just a watered-down version of what they really want: a union with the right to negotiate.
公务员协会法完全是没办法回应到基层消防员现在的诉求，应该要立刻的来修改公务人员安全及卫生防护办法，那让基层的消防团体可以参与消防员职安政策相关的调整。
The National Association for Firefighters' Rights says it's going to give the cabinet a list of demands Thursday. These include a union and heavier penalties for factories that don't meet safety standards. It wants to make sure firefighters, who already risk their lives every day, don't do so needlessly. Alex Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
To find out more about what firefighters are asking for from the government, John Van Trieste spoke to Zhang Yajun from the National Association for Firefighters' Rights.
How long has your association been pushing for a union, and why do you think one is necessary?
就是10年来期间，我们都一直这样子的，希望我们可以就是成立一个工会，我们可以用工会的力量提出来我们需要什么，那我们就可以在正常的情况下去要到这些东西，而不是透过殉职，然后才能去跟行政院说，你看我今天有人殉职了，所以你们要拨多少钱来提供我们能力啊，提供我们装备啊。
A union means the possibility of strikes. Could this affect public safety?
香港也是有工会的啊，他们也有曾经罢工过，但是他们有一个条款叫做最低的服务条款，就是必要服务条款，就是我们一样会提供救灾救护最低人力。
Your association plans to give the cabinet 3 demands on Thursday. What are they?
但是这个法令只保障劳工朋友，不保障公务人员。第二个是公安，明阳国际这间公司里面，它有储存超量的危险物品，让我们知道他们到底存放了哪些东西，我们才可以在未来救灾的时候作为一个参考，而不是像这次一样就直接贸然的进去，而造成重大的伤亡。
Once again, that was John Van Therese speaking to Zhang Yajin from the National Association for Firefighters' Rights. Work to tear down a Taipei apartment building that was damaged by nearby construction has begun. The building partially collapsed in early September. It was one of several that were affected after excavation work at a construction site caused them to tilt or sink into the ground. The company deemed responsible for the damage, Kitai Properties, has agreed to provide help to the people who were forced to evacuate their homes. Taipei's government says it is hoping to finish the demolition quickly, but is putting safety first. Stay with us here on TaiwanPlus. Still ahead, the pressure is on for retailers to get more used phones into the recycling system.
We bring you stories from Taiwan.
Every day of the week.
Our reporters travel the nation.
Exploring the issues that matter to you.
News from here in Taiwan and around the world.
What's Up Taiwan? Weekdays on TaiwanPlus.
I'm Joyce Sun in Bangkok, Thailand, and you're watching TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.
In the face of adversity, the power of truth.
A roadmap for a just and open world. Charted by the freest country in Asia.
5, 4, 3, 2.
A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Ian Kavat. Taiwanese semiconductor giant TSMC.
Public buses to be electric by 2030. A mission that begins with listening.
And telling the stories of Taiwan.
In Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Drawing insight from original thinkers.
And sharing it with the world. TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. As Taiwan's presidential election approaches, the candidates are laying out their platforms. At a conference in Taipei, the 3 main hopefuls discussed how they would promote gender equality in Taiwan. Tiffany Wong was there.
A move that shocked many in Taiwan. Popular actor Tammy Lai was named the running mate of independent presidential hopeful Terry Guo. The billionaire founder of Foxconn, one of the world's largest tech manufacturers, is making his second presidential bid. He ran and lost in 2020 and may now be betting on a woman to improve his chances in this election.
今天在这里正式告诉大家，
我接受郭台铭先生的邀请，搭档参选中华民国第16任总统、副总统。
Lai is known most recently for her role in the hit Netflix show Wavemakers, which helped spark a Me Too movement in Taiwan. The show, and the numerous accusations of sexual misconduct that followed, has started a conversation about women's status in Taiwan. It's also pushed the other presidential contenders, all of them older men, to make clear how they intend to further gender equality in the country if elected. At this forum on women in corporate leadership in Taipei, each candidate laid out his position on this topic. Frontrunner Lai Ching-te of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party highlighted his role as second-in-command to Taiwan's first woman president, Tsai Ing-wen. He said he would strive for more female representation in his cabinet.
未来我如果有机会领导这个国家，这个内阁女性1/3以上的这个是我们的目标。
Hou You-yi of the main opposition Kuomintang outlined plans to increase women's participation in STEM fields.
科技的创新永远在台湾是一个关键最重要的一个地位，所以台湾未来的发展不但寄托于半导体，寄托于 AI， 更重要，它会让国家的安全更得到保障。所以女性扮演很重要的一个关键角色。
But many were interested in what Ke Wen-je, the third force candidate from the Taiwan People's Party, would have to say. Ke has been criticized for making offensive comments about women, particularly female political leaders. Taking the stage at the Corporate Leadership Forum, Ke says he hopes to have women stay in the workforce longer. He said that women working past retirement age could help improve Taiwan's GDP. Candidates here may have said all the right things, but the public may need to see more concrete actions to get their vote.
With national elections just months away, voters are more focused than ever on how to better empower Taiwanese women and how candidates can help make that a reality. Andy Shi, Jeremy Olivier, and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Greenpeace says Taiwan's presidential candidates are failing to tackle the climate crisis. The environmental group has held a demonstration in front of the presidential office in Taipei. It says the renewable energy goals put forward by Taiwan's 4 main candidates are not up to international standards. Per person, Taiwan has one of the highest rates of carbon emissions in the world. Greenpeace is urging candidates to commit to speeding up the move away from fossil fuels before next year's election.
民众是对于再生能源发展是有高度期待的，希望候选人尽快的回应我们的诉求。
The Philippines says it will keep fighting China's attempt to block it from a disputed shoal in the South China Sea. The comments come shortly after Filipino divers removed a floating 300-meter barrier that China had placed around the shoal, prompting Beijing to warn Manila not to provoke and cause trouble. The incident could further strain ties between the countries. China claims most of the South China Sea. In recent years, its Coast Guard has clashed several times with ships from the Philippines and other Southeast Asian countries. North Korea's representative to the United Nations has said that his country has no choice but to increase its defense capabilities. During his speech, Ambassador Kim Song accused the United States and South Korea of threatening the security of both his country and the wider region.
조선반도 정세를 실제적인 무력 충돌 상황으로 몰아가는 미국과 추종 세력들이 망동은 지역의 군사 정치 정세와 안전 구도에 돌이킬 수 없는 파괴적 영향을 미치고 있으며 현 정세는 조선민주주의 인민공화국으로 하여금 자기 스스로를 철통같이 방어하기 위한 자위력 강화를 더욱 가속화할 것을 절실히 요구하고 있습니다.
The ambassador's comments come amid rising tensions in the Korean peninsula. The U.S. and South Korea fear that North Korea is working with Russia to develop its nuclear weapons program. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited Russia earlier this month to meet with President Vladimir Putin and inspect Russian military facilities. India says it is open to investigating the killing of a Sikh separatist, which has been at the center of the nation's diplomatic row with Canada. But India's foreign minister has also hit out at Canada, saying it is not a safe country.
Canada actually has seen a lot of organized crime, relating to, the secessionist forces organized crime, violence, extremism. They're all very, very deeply mixed up.
India and Canada have been at odds since Sikh independent activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar was shot dead in Vancouver in June. Ottawa says it believes the New Delhi government may have been involved. The row has led to both countries expelling the other's diplomats. Smartphones are now a crucial part of daily life for people all over the world. But what do people do when they upgrade to the latest model? In Taiwan, only 10% of handsets get recycled. A new government initiative is hoping to see that number increase. Ed Moon has more.
Smartphones might be the most essential tool of modern life. From keeping in touch with friends and family, to entertainment, and even paying for your daily coffee. It's hard to get by without one. But with newer models coming out every year, they're also quickly replaced. That's great for tech companies, but not so good for the environment. Smartphones are a big contributor to what's known as e-waste, discarded and unwanted electronic equipment. The UN estimates that over 500 million tons of e-waste are generated every year, with developed nations like Taiwan contributing the most toward that number. And it's been calling for countries to do more to deal with the problem.
We need to massively invest in the ability of countries, cities and local governments to develop and scale up modern waste management systems and policies that encourage people to reuse and recycle everything from plastic bottles to aging electronics.
E-waste management includes disassembling electronics into their component parts for proper disposal or refurbishment. And many items like smartphones can be recycled. They contain plenty of valuable materials, especially metals like gold, silver and copper that can be used in new products. That's especially important in Taiwan, a country that imports almost all of its precious metals. But currently, only 10% of Taiwanese recycle their phones, and that's a number the Environment Ministry wants to improve. It's set a target for retailers of 15% by 2025.
可以利用循环率，提高他们的回收比例，以及能够去鼓励消费者修缮回收的一个比例。
The government says any retailers who fail to meet this target will be fined up to $4,500 US. But changing retailer behavior is only one part of the solution. It's ultimately consumers who need to get on board with recycling their old phones. But without sufficient incentive, many may choose to keep leaving them at home. James Lin and Ed Moon for TaiwanPlus.
The chips industry is one of Taiwan's strongest, but as it faces a serious talent shortage, the country is looking beyond its borders for help. Joyce Zeng has the story.
When Ankit Agarwal decided he wanted to work in the chips industry, he knew he wanted to come to one place to study, Taiwan. He's a fifth-year PhD candidate from India, studying nano-integrated circuits at one of Taiwan's first semiconductor academies.
Because of the TSMC, everybody knows about Taiwan. The semiconductor study is a world-class study, and there are English courses as well. So it was really easy for me to decide on coming to Taiwan.
Chips are one of Taiwan's strongest industries, and as chip giants like TSMC, MediaTek, and other multinationals in the country expand their operations, the sheer demand for talent is a big hurdle.
They are talking about wanting to hire thousands of employees each year, and the university just cannot keep up with the demand.
That's why the government has joined hands with the industrial and educational sectors to launch semiconductor academies, like the ones at National Taiwan University in Taipei and National Tsinghua University in southern Tainan. They're pumping in resources and expertise to get the next generation up to speed with the latest technology. Through the creation of the Semiconductor Academy, with more partnerships with the government and also industry, they're hoping that students will have more tools and more opportunities to work with machines like this to advance their knowledge. Aside from equipment, the Academy's deans say international students play a key role in the program's success.
I think the most important thing is that we try to enhance our students to have the international competitiveness.
Aside from helping add to Taiwan's much-needed headcount in chip talent, academic leaders say international students also widen their peers' perspectives. And since many of them have come a long way from home to study here, they are extra motivated to learn as much as they can.
Yeah, I want Taiwan. Actually, I have another opportunity in Korea, but I think my only choice will be Taiwan.
In a highly globalized world, and in as interconnected of an industry as semiconductors, fostering skills to collaborate across languages and cultures are major competitive advantages. And international students naturally have that edge chip firms are looking for. Justin Wu, Andy Xue, and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
With chip firms competing for graduates, Joyce Zheng also asked budding engineers what they're looking for in an employer. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for that story. Google has turned 25 and a multinational tech company is celebrating in its signature style. Users can see virtual birthday confetti drop in the popular search engine for the occasion. In its journey, the global company has branched out from being just a search tool to cover e-commerce, digital advertising, and technology products. The firm also has deep roots in Taiwan. Its latest efforts to build 4 undersea cables to connect the country with the rest of the world has generated over 64,000 jobs and about $26 billion in gross domestic product for Taiwan. Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of the feline exhibition at the Grand Gallery of Evolution in Paris. I'm Betty Chen. Take care and see you next time.